All right. The truck is not the same as it used to be. It's been a while since the last upload, and a couple of things have changed on the truck. As I'm sure you might be able to hear here once we're on the highway, it is not nearly as loud as it used to be. What happened was, I changed the Flowmaster out. We put it back to stock. You see, what happened was, I was driving out to get a load of firewood. Got the load of firewood, but as I was backing in somewhere, there was a loud thud. It turns out it was not the G80 locker, because when I pulled away with the load of wood, I actually thought I broke one of my cab or box mounts, not cab mounts, because it was my exhaust, the tip, the dual tip there was sitting up, like halfway up in the rear quarter panel there. It just got shoved way up in there, and I thought I broke a box mount. So I started kind of panicking. I'm looking underneath. I don't see anything broken. I don't see anything bent out of shape other than the exhaust. And when I pushed on the exhaust, it ended up falling back out from underneath the panel there. And I tell you what, I thought for sure that I'd busted something. And I didn't notice anything for a little bit, didn't notice anything for a little bit. But then there's a few times when I went to back into a few places with the windows down, I could hear the classic, you know, pots and pans clanging type sound that you hear, or like, well, it wasn't really pots and pans, it was more so the sound of, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like the air making it through a small gap somewhere. So it's like that puffing sound almost, I guess you could say. So I started looking. I didn't see anything immediately, but it was pretty short after that, actually, that I saw that the Flowmaster right on the outlet had a crazy long crack up along the side of it, and instead of having something fall out or cause more damage, I'd been thinking of going back to stock, at least for now, for a while, because I had been honestly getting annoyed. There was quite a bit of drone, so I went back to stock. So that's one thing. The second thing we'll show you in a bit. For now though, where are we going? We're gone fishing. There's a local lake that's right close to where I live, and we're just gonna go spend some time fishing because the clouds are crazy beautiful. It's nearing the middle of September, or just past the middle of September. So we're almost out of weather where it's nice enough to go fishing in this area, unless you like ice fishing. So we're gonna head out and do that today. All right. So like I said, it's not a very far drive. We got the beautiful sun. Got some relatively dark clouds. I guess we'll see if it ends up raining on us or not. I don't have rain gear with me this time. Sometimes I do. This time I do not. But yeah, you'll see the lake on your right here. Just after, oh, might have been able to peek it there. You can see the lake on your right. Maybe. All right. Doesn't look crazy busy here today. It's honestly not the nicest of lakes. Usually there's a lot of weeds, but we'll see. See if we catch anything today. Look at this. It's a beautiful day. There's hardly any wind where I'm at right now. You can see some pretty calm spots on the lake. Nice marshland over here. It is right by the major highway, the Alaska Highway that's here. But even though there's houses in the area, if you come all the way over to this corner, it's kind of a nice little area to be. It's crazy being out on the lake, or by the lake I should say, like this. It's so soothing, so calming. I didn't pick up fishing till this year, and I kind of wish that I had before, because it's a beautiful way to pass the time. Good way to think, clear your thoughts. I know there would probably be some people that think fishing for sport is probably not okay, but I try to do it as safely and ethically as possible. That being said, I also just don't catch a lot of fish. I think for me it's the actual just action of casting and reeling it in. It's a repetitive motion. It's soothing. I don't know. And also, who wouldn't want to spend an evening at a lake like this when it's beautiful? We caught ourselves some green. So yeah, I don't really know where this channel is gonna go. Honestly, I enjoy making these videos, so I'll probably just make them when I want to, essentially. I think that's probably going to be healthiest for me and my family right now. When I have time, when I want to. So they might be spaced out pretty far, but I don't know. I enjoy putting them together, so I probably will keep doing that. If we ever change anything on the truck, we'll probably try and keep it up to date, even though we've done a couple of changes now on the truck and it hasn't been updated. But I think that, I don't know, there's things more important in life than posting updates about what you're doing for everybody to see. But I hope you guys enjoy whatever content I am able to put out. All right, didn't catch anything, but we're gonna head home because those clouds are starting to look ominous. And even though we got sun here, decent clouds over there, we got kind of ominous clouds moving in. The air is getting cold, like it's that type of cold that just almost burns your hands. Even though there's no snow on the ground, but you know, hands get a little bit wet from fishing and it gets cold really quick. So we're heading back to the truck and we'll show the second thing on the truck since the last video. Well, this one was a long time coming. I was wanting one for a very long time, and that is a tonneau cover. They are incredibly handy. There's a variety of different styles of tonneau covers. As all of you are probably well aware, there's hard trifold, there's soft trifold, there's soft roll-up, there's hard roll-ups, there is those, I believe the brand name is Paragon, where they're like high grade aluminum, I believe it is, and they kind of fold into your box, but you can remove them as a whole unit really easily, and those are really slick. But I decided to go with a soft trifold. So, as I don't know about you guys, but for myself, I always like to know why people chose certain things over another, what it is that made me choose the trifold over just roll up, what made me choose the soft cover over the hard cover, why I chose what brand I did or anything like that. I will start off by saying that I was going to try and start as a brand loyalist to Tuxedo. But when pricing out, they weren't the cheapest of options. They weren't crazy expensive, but they weren't the cheapest of options. And they also didn't make the style that I wanted per se. So when I was going to purchase this one, I actually had the parts tech at Pat's Auto where I live, phenomenal store. They suggested or asked if I was dead set on Tuxedo as a brand, and I mean I had never owned a tonneau cover, so I said, well, I guess not. hadn't really thought of any other brands, just because, you know, like I said, I was going to stick with that because it's something I kind of know. So they got me to look into the brand Enthuse, and I was impressed with what I saw from the pictures and stuff. And as we all know, pictures don't always tell the full truth when it comes to automotive products. But I figured for the price, what the heck? Why not? So the first thing I'll talk about is why I chose a soft cover, because I've kind of mentioned it a few times already, or at least once, and that is the price. Soft roll-up tonneau covers, soft tonneau covers are going to be cheaper than hard covers. Hard covers have a lot more expensive materials in them to make them durable, to make them the hard cover part of it, as is kind of obvious, but most of the time they run a lot more expensive. So for this brand, the pricing that I had, it was like $400-ish, $500-ish more expensive for the hard trifold than it was for the soft. And for me personally, that wasn't in my budget right now. So I immediately just fell into the category of getting a soft tonneau cover because price allowed me to get that and not a hard cover. Would I want a hard cover if I was able to afford it? I think that's a good question. For an average truck, probably not. If I was going to do like a build or a show build or something, then I might do it because you can get them color matched or paint to matched for your body and stuff, which I think can look really, really good. But for just an everyday use truck, I don't know that I would. The other big benefit to the hard covers is safety. In the sense of your belongings are often lockable if your tailgate, well, even if your tailgate is lockable, your tonneau cover isn't openable with a soft one. However, the way this soft tonneau cover is designed, if someone wanted to, they would easily be able to cut into my tonneau cover and probably steal everything out of it or unlatch it and get into it, even if my tailgate did lock. So a hard cover would be good for that. But I don't carry tons and tons of valuables in my box every day, so that just wasn't something that was a necessity for me. So yeah, soft cover. I also honestly quite like the look of them. They are not bad looking in my opinion. Now, as for the trifold, this one is one that a few years back I would have had a very, very different opinion on. I was a roll-up type of guy all the way. I would have mocked people for getting a trifold because to me it felt really, really stupid. I thought the mounts were janky. I thought that, you know, it just was not the best option that is on the market that was available. But I just recently started doing some more hauling with my truck and needed something that, like a tonneau cover does, if it can, keep it safe when it's wet, if it's lower than the level of my box, which happens from time to time. And then the other thing that I needed, honestly, for that was that it would be easily removable. Which tonneau covers in general are not hard to install. They're actually usually quite quick to take on and off. But with the type of work that I'm doing and it being a sideline thing, it is really nice that with this tonneau cover, if I get called to the job, 5 minutes later I can have the tonneau cover completely uninstalled and stowed at home, and not have to worry about taking it with me or trying to fit it in my box. I am fortunate that I have the 6'6" box, so it makes it really easy. I can, if need be, just stow it in the side of the box and it doesn't take up a ton of room. It also fits in my box. Someone who has a short box would find that that is quite a difficult thing to maybe be able to do just because of the length of the box compared to the width of the box. They're relatively close, which is surprising because they don't look it. So yeah, those are the reasons that I got a tonneau cover. I think in the future I might do a video on fuel economy with them, but with my pickup it is an interesting, I think it's an interesting thing because I have bigger tires than normal for part of the year, and often I run a very small, relatively light winter tire. So the results could vary quite a bit. But I will say that on longer trips, especially with sustained, like not sustained, with a level ground, the fuel economy, I would say, has noticeably gone to the better side of things. This truck was never great for fuel economy, but it has gotten better since I got the tonneau cover. I can easily hit the numbers now that I was barely hitting before. So in my opinion, that is quite a level of improvement. But I'm gonna pull in and get some food here, and I'll catch you guys on the flip.